So the first thing is, and again, people can't see it when you go there because you have your own personal experience, but when I walk up, you can see the 4 frames that Michael chose to represent his, hottest, newest products as of July last year. Now, if that has changed, then we can update these. And one thing we could do, for instance, is instead of having 4 unique products, we can have 4 unique categories. So maybe this is like your luxury. And then when you click on that, instead of going to the one frame, we can go to another frame that would have all of the luxury products. So we can kind of make this, to your point, like an interactive catalog. But then what we can do is we can put a PDF in here of your actual catalog, which is quite extensive and quite incredible, so that the user can click the button, open up the PDF and download it locally so that they now have a copy of that PDF. And you will be notified that, these users have grabbed your PDF, so you could just follow up with them in case they have any questions. Now, we could put an intro video here, which is what we had last time. So it could be like you and or Michael saying, hey, here's what we're doing in Denver. Here's how you can get involved with Kazoku. Here's what we're looking for in a retailer. So this way, if somebody just wants to get like the gist of what's going on before jumping on a Zoom call, they can get that quick intro from you, even if you're not there to give it to them. This is a great thing because, all of us have had those experiences where we're very engaged with an ad and it says book a call. I mean, the link's right there, but we don't. But if there's an intro video that says, and here's a word from our founder or from our VP of business development, now you're like getting drawn in another step deeper. And they always say it's 7 touches to convert a customer, but I think it's 7 layers to connect with a customer. So if we think about it less about like nudging people to convert them and more about creating these little mini doors that people can walk through one little step at a time so they can get closer and closer to truly understanding your brand, the further they get through those doors. So now I've seen your product. I know what your vibe is. I've watched your video. I know what your personality is. I've clicked on your catalog. I could see your broad range of products. I see your, what you're looking for in a client. I match those qualities. I now know that you see me as a qualified client before I've even spent a minute with you or you've spent a minute with me. I've self-qualified. And now when I meet with you, I'm going to have so much respect with you as a buyer because you've helped me to really make sure that there's a fit here before we invest our valuable time in each other. So that's what I would recommend, Ellie. What do you think?
Yeah. And, just to mention something as a vendor standpoint, the capture rate that we will see is just going to be, we're probably going to raise the bar on the capture rate. And just speaking to that, like to know not so much as the dollar amount of sales, but the activity behind the interactions and being able to really fulfill your customer base and get to interact with them. It's, as a vendor standpoint, it's like a game changer. No, I mean, I love this. And I'm kind of like looking at it now as if I was an optician or maybe like a doctor walking up into this virtual booth and having this essentially what I want to call like a game-centric model right at my fingertips. Yeah, I love it, and to your point, being able to know the brand before you even really meet the brand, but that's just what really takes to set us apart from the industry, from what all is happening in the industry. So I love it.
Well, and the reason we started using 3D spaces to begin with is you'll notice when we launched the app that we're using powered by AirMeet for Eyewear Artwalk, once you get 70 brands in there, those booths are overwhelming. And we found the average visitor virtually only attended the first 3 booths. When we look at and you brought something up before, I want to come back to it, but I'm just going to kind of allude to it here. The analytics and data that you get through these platforms that we've built is unlike anything that you will ever have access to, period. It is unprecedented that you will know the number of people that came to your booth, even if you didn't see them, the number of them that engaged, the ones that clicked your catalog versus booked a call, you can begin to see the buyer's journey, because these are the same decisions that they need to make, whether they're going to see you physically or virtually, but you can't see the decision-making process physically. That's happening in their brain. They may pick up a catalog, which is indicating, I'm interested in seeing your full depth and breadth of product, but you don't know that they've done that. You don't even know they have the complete line. How great would it be to follow up with someone and be like, hey, this is Ely. I saw you were at the show. I am so sorry I didn't get to meet you. I could see that you grabbed the catalog, and, you know, I could see you clicked the booking link, but it never kind of went all the way through. So let's get that set up today. What's a good time for you? I'd be blown away. I'd be like, wow, you really have your act together. You did your research. Thank you for saving me time. I don't have to answer a bunch of qualifying questions. You came here knowing exactly who I am and exactly how you can help me. I mean, I value that. Everybody values their time. You know, from a sales standpoint, could you see that being helpful?
Oh, yeah. I mean, and like you kind of said it too in an earlier conversation, being able to capturing the sales, because like, you know, conversation can get lost or out of mind, out of sight, but having a space, a platform where you can, let's say a couple of days after the event, there's been engagement, you can go right back into that chat and reconvene the conversation. I mean, that just kind of stood out to me as, you know, as a vendor here on this platform. That's huge. So I love that. And by the way, David Green's booth was like beautiful.
And just so you know, Kazoku Lunettes is one of the products that is on our virtual try-on. So everyone will be able to virtually try on a select number of the frames when they're here. So we are going to make it interactive, but let's go to another fun place of
Let's do it.
So just so you know, that convention center is exclusive to the Omniverse City. The brands that are in that convention center outside of Michael, who will be getting moved here. So Michael's booth is going to be here. And Trevor and I are still working on the logistics. So we may have our title sponsors like Michael in all of the spaces, which is kind of cool because normally when you go to a show, you have to choose your floor. So some of our, oh, there you are, Ely. So
Hey.
Some of our titles, so you came and found me after. I love this, man. I'm like so geeking out on this. But some of our title sponsors are going to want to be in multiple spaces, but this is essentially the twin of the vault. So although we're going to have the vault at Eyewear Artwalk, which is going to be highly centered around fashion and luxury and imagination and giving consumers this personalized experience, there's a lot of what you see here that we won't be repeating at Eyewear Artwalk Denver. So you can get that like really immersive, highly produced experience in the metaverse without breaking the bank. Another thing you can expect to see is models walking down the runway eventually with the eyewear of our brands. And you will see these, everything here is completely customizable. Our team built every pixel. So we can change these models to have the clothes and the eyewear of Kazoku. So talk to me a little bit about that, Ely, as somebody who has to explain luxury every day. How could you see that helping you?
Sorry, I was trying to navigate here. No, I mean, this is definitely next level. Like this, you know, luxury at its finest. I'm actually just really, really excited. I'm kind of like thinking right now, what platforms do we have out there that is even equivalent to other like luxury industries that could have this facility, this platform to be on. So it's just amazing. Yeah, I wish Michael was here to kind of see this for himself, but this is the inclusivity on another level for sure.
And you're present, right? Think about it. We talked about this in the very beginning when my vision show started, but we haven't talked about it lately. The presence in these virtual spaces is something to focus on. What I mean is when you go to a physical trade show, there's a lot distracting you. Your ADD is like on fire. You've got people milling about. You've got a client you just eyeballed from the corner of your eye that you're like, oh my God, that's the person I've been trying to get for 10 years. And now you're trying to pay attention to the person you're talking to, but you're like, oh my God, please don't go on that escalator. Right? And you're like, can I just disengage and like run after them? Or like, how do I do this? Right? And if you're working a booth, even worse, you're like talking to somebody, but you're seeing other people coming in and you're thinking, how do I continue the conversation here respectfully, but not chase this other person away? There's just so many things going through your head. And your client, the same thing. They're talking to you, they're giving you their attention, but they're thinking, oh, I'm late for that, session, or my boss said to meet him at Starbucks at 10. And staying on a clock at these things is almost impossible because they're so huge to navigate. It's so hard to get in the right place at the right time. We all end up lost chasing each other. None of that happens here. Like, first of all, we're very present. We only hear each other. There's nothing else going on around us. We go where we want to go, when we want to go there, and we get there when we want to be there. I'm going to take you to one of my favorite places in the Omniverse City. This is brand new. This is the Eyewear Artwalk inspired environment. So Ellie, I don't know if you figured out how to look, but how you look in the Omniverse City is you click and drag the screen and you can move it up, down, all around, and you can really look around and appreciate the beauty of a space like this. And you'll notice, like, for instance, with the mushrooms, when you go up close. Now, again, I bring this up because a lot of luxury products have fine material. We spoke with David Green today, who literally uses mother of pearl to make the frames. So it is plausible and possible now for the first time ever to show the fine details like textures and reflections and the gloss on these products. Have you seen that, Ellie? Have you been able to look up close and see?
Yeah, I'm actually walking onto the, like, where I guess I wouldn't walk if I was really live there, but I do see what you're seeing, the textures and just the, it's like unreal, essentially, right? It looks nice. Yeah, I see that.
I mean, does it feel like you're really there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like, it's like being on a game like show, I just remember back in my time, it was Mortal Kombat, and I thought that was like the coolest like graphics ever. And this is just, and for this to be streamed, yeah, this is, I mean, I'm speechless. Can you tell?
and think about your computer and some of the things you've tried to do that it just wouldn't let you do because it just didn't have the power. Think about the power that you have now because of that stream, that technology that you're using, where you can use the power of cloud-based servers. You're using basically these satellites in orbit to you're using the power of space to, navigate real life. The technology is something to really just stop and admire. I've been patient in rolling this out and waiting for the industry to slowly adopt it because I know when they do understand the gravity of what is available to them as a toolbox, as an industry, they're going to be completely inspired to just build beautiful. Speaking of which, I got somewhere really fun I want to take you. I'm going to take you to New York City.
Let's go.
So this is a place you've probably been 100 times in your life.
Once in my life.
Oh, really? Only one time?
Yep, one time. And it was recently, like a couple of months ago. So.
Oh, that was your first time in the city?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I had no idea.
I drove through New York to go to Maine and Boston, family there, and then, but never like actually experienced New York. Yeah.
Well, we over the years we've worked with brands like the Optical Journal, who's designed a lot of the beautiful billboards here. We allowed them to place some of their advertising here. You are going to see all of these billboards change for Eyewear Artwalk to be exclusively our brands. But I want to show you the DEG billboard if you come down with me. Or I'm sorry, the Woo, part of DEG, the Woo billboard. I don't know if you could still run, Ellie.
I'm running.
There you go.
I just Shift W.
There you go. Look at how cool these billboards look, and how cool is it just to run around and look around?
Look, Hyundai. That's what I'm talking about. That's my car.
Oh, cool. And, we talk about inviting the consumer. Shout out to Nova Lorraine. She's responsible for these gorgeous images that you see that were designed with AI. If you look over there, and actually I'm going to take you to another part of the Omniverse City, which is an art gallery. So you have... So this is the exhibit that Nova Lorraine made, inspired by the optical industry. Nova is very influential in the fashion world globally. She is definitely a leader in emerging tech in fashion. She's a beautiful, wonderful human being. And when she met me, she's like, I really like you, but I kind of really love glasses more. And she was just inspired and built this collection for the Omniverse City to show her homage to the optical industry and her viewpoint on diversity. I want you to do me a favor, Ellie. Get really up close to one of these images and just click on it and scroll in, and you will see how it's like you're there. It's like you're looking at the art.
Let me get to this one. Oh, it looks like a pencil and a crayon. Oh, wow.
How cool is that?
That is super cool.
So all of these places will be available, but during Eyewear Artwalk, we're going to direct people based on the level that they're at to the appropriate matching level. Not everything has a matching level, but I'll tell you, let me say that the opposite way. Not every space in the Omniverse City has a matching level at Eyewear Artwalk, but there are a lot of spaces that do. And I'm going to take you the last space, which is one of my favorite spaces. This is where we're going to be adding all of the booths for the festival. So, you've heard us talk a lot about the festival at Eyewear Artwalk, and that's going to be consumer facing. The convention center that we built that you were just in before is strictly B2B. And we frankly didn't expect to build a direct to consumer experience in Eyewear Artwalk, in the Omniverse City. But we just had a lot of people that said, we want to go into the metaverse too. So all of our brands that are in the festival will be here as well. So actually, in thinking out loud, and I know Trevor's kind of listening to me while he's getting some other amazing things done there, but what I'm thinking, Trevor, is we'll put all of the booths here that want to be consumer facing, and then we'll leave the convention center that we were just in before as B2B only. So this way, brands that maybe were only accessible to the industry IRL, they might be able to just have like cool, fun activation here in the metaverse. And I know I kind of lost you, Ellie. Some of these newer spaces don't have the teleportation system, which is why you couldn't follow me. You might be able to get back into the link, but this is a stage area, so people can actually present here, and we can end up doing presentations in the metaverse. We can even live stream from Eyewear Artwalk direct to these screens, which means people who are standing here would get to see our presentations at Eyewear Artwalk.
Wow, that is super exciting. Talk about adding layers, This is the layer. I love it. I would like to join virtually. I'm kind of jealous of David Green.
Well, and you will be able to enjoy this. Thursday, which is our setup time, we're going to be doing a lot of live streaming. I think I'm going to make Thursday, and again, we're those of you that are coming to these live updates, you're getting kind of like the powwow behind the scenes. But
right.
I really do fully intend to have a much heavier virtual hybrid experience on Thursday, because the exhibits won't be open, but they will be set up. So it'll be easier for us to do that walkthrough. Maybe when we do that behind the scenes tour, Trevor, of Omniverse City, of Eyewear Artwalk in the Omniverse City, maybe that's where we can really have fun with that whole hybrid design. Can you chime in?
Yeah, I can quickly pop in here. No, I love it. I think this is absolutely incredible. I'm excited to be able to, excuse me, showcase all of the stuff we're doing live to our international audience. And I mean, the space is just beautifully built and designed, Charlene. So well done.
Oh, thank you. And if you want to hear more about what Trevor is doing to incorporate the hybrid, what we call the phygital design, meaning you'll be able to come to the physical event and immediately begin interacting with the virtual through our QR code adventures, then watch our 12 p.m. session with David Green, because in there, Trevor did a walkthrough of the physical event, which he showed the kind of whole space IRL with a virtual tour. Again, I know we're using this term a little loosely, but we've all seen virtual tours of real estate, which show the physical, real place that you can go through virtually. So we did that virtual tour at 12 p.m. today. So go watch that replay if you'd like to see it. And in that, Trevor talked about how we're connecting these spaces together. And this is where we're going to have our big party. So we're going to have our after parties. We'll have screens at the after party so we can see the live crowd in the metaverse, and the live crowd in the metaverse is going to get to hang out with us. So don't think you're going to have to miss Eyewear Artwalk if you cannot get there. But if you can get that ticket and come to Denver, please join us. This is a moment in history we want to share with as many people as possible. Ellie, I would love to give you the final word.
Oh, thank you so much, Charlene. This has just been an experience, just learning, being first time user. Literally before getting on this call, I just am speechless, and I wanted to thank you and thank everybody that's watching. That, this is going to be an amazing show, and even if you're not going to join us at Denver, like, check us out, create your avatar, come have some fun, because it's where we're going to be at, where the party's at. So thanks, everyone. Thanks, Charlene.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for all support you've given us. Thank you for, telling as many people as possible about what we're doing here. You've just been an incredible support and champion. Linda, I know you've now been here a couple times. I'm going to see if I can bring Linda on stage. She raised her hand last time. I didn't get to bring her in. I don't even know who Linda is. I love this. Linda, did you get on stage? I haven't used this before. She might be off now. She did say thank you. So she might have left. But we've been marketing this through LinkedIn, through social media. We definitely want to share it, because what's cool is people can come in and join us, and we can actually bring them on stage. So maybe now that we have some video of this particular event, people will understand our audio event is where you can come and watch more of that kind of up close and personal. If you haven't already bookmarked it, go into LinkedIn and look under Eyewear Artwalk page for They're Just My Eyes, right? Is that the right name, Trevor?
You got it.
And that happens every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. So hop in and join us there. We'll be sharing the replays on Apple Podcasts. But if you want to come and really dig in and take these adventures with us, then join us every Thursday at 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. And if we start to see some interest, we might add a little bit of a late night on Thursdays, a little bit later in the day, like around 9 p.m., so that those who can't come can join. So maybe we'll do an audience vote. But thank you guys for joining us. We'll just go move on with the rest of our day. Have a great day out there.